Hey, welcome to Becky's Garden Paradise. Today I'm excited to bring you along with me as I tackle another garden slash landscaping project in my backyard. So I have the area behind me, which is notoriously overgrown with weeds. I had bushes back here originally, and I already removed the bushes because vines, especially Smilax and Virginia Creeper, just continue to, we're continuing to take over those bushes. So I just went ahead and got rid of those bushes, and I want to turn this area into like clear, more usable space for my gardening adventures. So I'll take you along and show you what all I have going on. So my temporary or short-term goal is to get this area cleaned up and cleared so that I can move my nursery table into that space for now. And then the area I'm going to show you along my shed, I want to get cleared and turn that into another tomato bed. So this is what the area directly behind my house currently looks like. So has a lot of leaves that I need to rake up and add to the compost, as well as some overgrowth. So palm trees are in no short supply down here. They self-seed willing, voluntarily in spaces. So like those not only need to be cut down, but you got to dig the root structure up. This is Virginia Creeper that looks a lot like poison ivy. I have some pavers that I usually put my pots up on to keep tree roots from growing up into the pots. This is a culantro plant that I've had for a long time that needs some TLC. This here is some kind of tree trying to grow. And then I'll show you this mess. This tangly mess is Smilax, and these vines actually have thorns on them, and they grow from a tuber that, it's somewhat, when they get big enough and mature, they resemble sweet potatoes a little bit. Not that you'd want to eat them. These young shoots are supposed to be edible, similar to asparagus, but I have no desire to partake in them. So I need to cut this down and then dig up the tubers to keep it from just continuing to regrow. So this is the main space, like I said, that I'm gonna clean up and clear and move the nursery table over to. And then this is the space next to my old shed that I want to clear, and I'm probably going to till a row here along the shed to plant most of the remaining tomato plants that I have left. And my idea is, as the tomatoes grow, that they will help cover up my old shed, which you can see has seen better days. So this is the nursery table that I have a lot of tomato plants that need to get planted. I planted all of my peppers already. So these in the front are still the romaine. And then in the back I have lemon boy and Cherokee purple that need to get in the ground ASAP. Alright, so this is another day. And I'm back out here getting ready to start tackling this overgrowth, especially this Smilax right here. So I got my hedge trimmer. I'm going to use that to try to cut some of it back so that I can get to the root ball. So I have this, I have a couple rakes, I have my sun hat on, took my Claritin, got my gloves, and I'm going to get busy. So plug it into the back. When you're using electric tools, hold on, let me get it in there. Alright, I got it plugged in, but then you also want to take some of the slack in the cord and thread it through this. Disregard the spider webs in there. And this just helps prevent it from getting pulled out on you. Get this done so I can get my tomato bed put in behind me and get my tomatoes in the ground. The rest of my tomatoes, I should say. Got my gloves on. Again, this thing has little, when it's a younger shoot, it has little thin thorns on it. This is, like I said, it's called Smilax, and but the thicker the vines get, the bigger the thorns get. So, in order to get rid of it, you can't just cut it back. You gotta get the root ball out of the ground. You gotta be careful not to cut your cord too. Going straight to the yard waste. Smilax, some people call it greenbrier. Ugh. I don't like anything with thorns. I don't even grow roses or citrus because I hate stuff with thorns. Straight in there. Trying not to touch it if I don't have to. Again, because of the thorns. Once I get this area cleaned up, I'm gonna, turn this into some growing space as well. Because my garden is pretty full. Oh, okay. So, got that cut back. Now I need to work on this part. I also got some cabbage palms or sable palms growing over here that I'm gonna have to dig up. See, make sure you guys can see me. Let me double check. Okay. Wrapped around my hedge trap. Out of the ground over there. The wheel will take over, as they will. They're native. If I have to grab that, I try to be careful, make sure I look at it first. Because my gloves are not that thick. They're not leather gloves or suede gloves. Some gloves will help protect you more from the pricklies, as I call them. I haven't pulled the root balls out with the rake before. Wrapping the vine around the rake. Just to get a close up of what they look like. So you can see the shape of the leaves. The younger shoots, like I said, when the super young ones, like the new growth, they don't have any thorns on them yet, but it doesn't take them very long. Oh, there's that. I don't know if you can see or not, but the thorns on it. And then it has these little flowers, well, flower buds growing on it. And those will turn into berries that'll drop, and they'll grow from those too. So you want to get it out before it starts growing those berries, or you're going to have to deal with that, you know, in the future. But you also want to make sure you get those root balls out of the ground. So I'm going to keep on working, and then once I get to where I can show you the rhizomes or the root balls, I'll bring you back. What you're gonna find. Like an old hanging basket. to get a shovel too to dig that in. Something hard under there, probably a big old root of some kind. Alright, what I've used on smaller roots to pull them out without having to touch them and get poked by the thorns are these right. We'll give it a try. That's what it is. And you see I broke it off under the ground, so there's some more of it left underneath there that it'll continue to grow from. So if you're trying to get rid of Smilax, you need to get rid of these root balls. Yuck. Here we go. With the help of some elbow grease, look how big around that thing is. And all the different vines sprouting from it. Yeah, that's gross. Gotta get it up out of there. Looks almost like a potato. Disgusting. Poked myself when it bounced out of the trash. So this is the fruit of my effort out here. So I got rid of a lot. It's not perfect, but I pulled a lot of the little baby tree sprouts out, cut a lot of the palm trees that were trying to come up in this area, cleared all of those pesky Smilax vines, and pulled up as many roots as possible. I raked up a lot of the leaves and debris that was in this area as well, along with the vines. So I filled, this is the third load of yard waste that I loaded up, and you can see I have almost every garden tool out here. I have the regular rake. I have my big scoop shovel. I have my trench shovel. I have my pitchfork, potato fork. I have the leaf rake out here. And then these are the pliers that I was using to grab a hold of the roots to avoid the thorns on the roots, to pull them out. My pruners that I was using to cut roots off and cut the palm trees leaves. And these are all the rhizomes that I pulled out. I did have some help out here raking, and then one of my friends, Denise, stopped by and helped me when I was pulling these rhizomes out of the ground. She helped me get to some of them with the shovel. So thank you, Denise, for your help. As real friends help you dig up Smilax roots. So you can see how big a lot of them are. Real big. And so getting those out of the ground, that'll be less Smilax that I have to deal with in the future, because if I just cut the vines off, then they would just continue to sprout out of those rhizomes. Some of them are bigger, some of them are younger, some of them are older, some of them were deep in the ground, some of them were right on top, like kind of digging, like growing in the leaves, and were easy to get to. Others were harder to get to. But I wanted to show you the fruit of my labor. So again, now I'm going to move my seed starting table over to this area. Still have a little bit of cleaning up to do, but I got a lot of progress made today. That's the stump from a bush that I had cut down because it had those Smilax roots growing all up in it. But yeah, I'm gonna move the seed starting table over there. And then my next project is going to be making a bed for tomatoes along my old shed.
Go.
Alright, so thank you again for joining me here at Becky's Garden Paradise. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you yourself have had to deal with Smilax, hopefully this will help you figure out how to get rid of it once and for all. So happy Easter to you all. I hope that you all have a blessed day. Enjoy your friends and your family. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you back here at Becky's Garden Paradise again next week.